Hello guys, NautoAisDx here, and finally it's May. So that means it's the MMGS version 2 E3 2021 return special. So of course, if you know what happened in 2020, the pandemic happened, and of course there was no E3 and thus no my special. So of course they announced that there will be an E3 2021 via virtuals. Of course you can watch it probably on Twitch, YouTube, you get it. And a lot of companies already being there, exception for EA and Sony because you know they're idiots. And also a side note, they also announced the guests. I'm gonna say two of them are cool, and one of them, and you know what I'm talking about, it's a ew. Like really, you're gonna get that guy, Mr. GM, Mr. Shield. Just saying, you know, I'm sorry. He used to be cool in the past, but after a while, he just let's just say that he actually threw his best friend under the bus, but that's a different story. It's none of my business there. Wonk, wonk, wonk. So anyway, with that, this is going to be the what I call it a year later. So of course, there's no E3 2020 a year later. So instead, I'll dub this as the summer of 2020 a year later. So what happened? I'm gonna give my thoughts about it. So, you know, the start, the elephant in the room, pandemic. Of course, if you're following what happened, it started sort of in March, but it wasn't yet a big deal. There was no rule, there was no staying home, there wasn't anything. And for me personally, to some extent, also, I did get like a message from my employer saying, hey, you know, just stay home, there's been a lot of problems. But that's a different story there, you know, kind of private. But you get the idea what's happening. A lot of people are staying home or end up working at home. There have been a lot of games being delayed. There's been people saying it was kind of tricky. Heck, even Nintendo themselves admitted that their plans from 2020 actually got thrown off to some extent. There have been a lot of rumor and talk, credit to Emily Roger, that Pikmin Deluxe was supposed to be April. Of course, that got pushed back to October. The Mario anniversary was supposed to be earlier, but they didn't. They started in September for whatever reason. But again, it is what it is. Some sort of like 6 months to some extent. And some other games, Tekken 7, Season 4. The reason why it took so long, they said it, the pandemic, staying home. A lot of company had to basically take a while. Even in the anime industry, Funimation, a lot of their dubs were kind of slow because they were recording on home. So you kind of get an idea what it is. So that was a big thing. The theme for 2020 is hashtag stay at home. Toss that one, you know, it is what it is. And unfortunately happened. But, I mean, the best part as humans, we adapt. So company did adapt. Of course, there was the introduction of the fighting round table. And one of the topics they talk about working at home, they say they're adapting. Nintendo was the same deal. It took them a long time because if you've been following Nintendo during 2020, one of the big controversies, and they did talk about it, was they were doing this a lot of mini directs. And the games they show, people were like, what the fudge is this? And I gotta give credit to some people, including Dreamcast guy, that said, be patient, this is something new for Nintendo. And it is true, they admitted it. They said, the pandemic kind of screwed their schedule, and I know for a while people were complaining, oh, mini showcase sucks. And I've been even telling the Nintendo fans, relax, just relax, you're gonna get the games that you want. Quit getting frustrated because you're gonna get something. And of course, you're in the internet, you know, I got some thumbs down, but you know, it is what it is. And then finally for Nintendo, September, the introduction of the Super Mario Bros. 35th anniversary, people were happy. So that's the sad part. First they're mad, but the minute something that they like, they get happy, like a mood swing. Again, what can you do? Is the internet there. So of course, my thoughts down on it, that it's unfortunate. Kind of sad that a lot of the Nintendo community, not all of them, most of them were like, yeah, this is sucks, it's frustrating. Nintendo Prime, including, I'm sorry, you're cool, you make good content, but I gotta keep it real, man. During those times, man, you're always frustrated. Oh, Nintendo's not showing anything. I'm frustrated. Oh, Nintendo's showing something that I don't really interested. I'm frustrated. I'm sorry, Nintendo Prime. You're good. You're cool. I seen your work. I follow you. You're awesome, but you gotta like relax because you were finally happy when the 35th anniversary came, and heck, even the Legend of Zelda: Age of Calamity. That was being the shocker. So people even wondering, hey, what is their Nintendo holiday game? And it's Age of Calamity. I mean, there was a rumor it was Super Mario Bros. 3D World and Bowser's Fury, but it got pushed back. Well, you're never gonna know. So, besides that, there have been other things that I was interested in. What's awesome? One, Persona Striker finally been announced, coming in 2021, and people are like, is this game ever gonna come out? Because it took a long while. Atlas finally said, yeah, it's coming out. The only reason why it took a year later was, thank you, English dub. They said the English dub delayed it because they had to do it at home, and of course, I don't like it because it's not a quote unquote worldwide release, which I might talk about it in a different video. But again, props to Atlas for hiring Persona 5 Strikers. There's even a Switch version, and the funny part is, if you have the Switch version and you have the save data, and you open Smash Bros. Ultimate, you get a free spirit. But of course, they're eventually gonna come out. But be patient about that. Of course, Fire Emblem, a lot of Fire Emblem Hero stock, mobile. So I think that's also the best part. A lot of the mobile games from Nintendo, you know. For me, it's interesting. I know a lot of people don't really like it. Then, of course, besides the Final Roundtable, what do you do for the anime? Well, Anime Expo was there. But in the gaming side, there was actually something new, interesting that I was like, oh, this is awesome. It's called the New Game Plus Expo. So not only they did one, but two versions, two times. And for me, I loved it. I did talk about it. First of all, again, the biggest thing that I like, the Factory game, they reveal games that I like. Air Skelter finale finally been announced. Virtual Neptunia VVV, the YouTuber virtual Neptunia game. Granted, I'm very disappointed that it doesn't have the English dub. Again, a different video there, but they did admit because of the VTubers licensing, which is costing much. I'm gonna go in depth on that one again. I did talk about it, but I want to talk more about it. And then as of right now, for that game, they finally revealed a DLC. Some of them are just cosmetic, but two DLC characters also was announced, including Kizuna Ai, finally going to be playable outside of Japan in a console game. Man, if this game had English dub, it would be so interesting to hear Kizuna Ai in English. But again, a lot of people said, well, maybe because you're not supposed to. Again, I doubt that, but it'll be a different video there. Of course, the announcement of Sega Games through 2021 before E3. Unfortunately, no Sonic, but of course, gotta get proud to the Sonic movie. It's actually good. I did watch it. And then there's a sequel. They're already showing some, like, behind the scene. And yes, it was kind of creepy if you follow because they had like a statue of Sonic. And the whole point of that in the movie industry is reference. That's really it. I know it's kind of creepy, but that's how it works. Because Sonic is CG. What do? You want to talk in the air? So you're going to need to have some sort of reference with a different sort of. But speaking of Sega Legend, they also announced Alex 2021, excuse me, but it was announced in 2020 a remastered of Alex Kidd. Again, the original Sega mascot before Sonic. Oh my gosh, of course, I can't forget, 2020 is the 10th anniversary of the Neptunia series, and they even had like interview with the producer of the Neptunia game and Tsukino, the artist behind the Neptunia game, Neptune, Blair, Vert, Noir. So I mean, like, that was awesome. I watched it. Oh man, and of course, Azure playing Crossway for the Switch, you get a free Neptune in her bathing suit. I know it's not on the PS4 version, but it is what it is there. And then also Blaster Master 03. I didn't even know that it would even happen, but apparently it's a trilogy now. Best part for this one, it's going to be multi-platform. It's also going to be on the PS4 I've been playing it, getting trophies because I love that. I also have it for the Switch for, if I want to play in my room or taking a crap, good idea there. But yeah, Blaster Master. Heck, speaking of Blaster Master, Integrate also announced for 2022, and it's a long time, Azure GunVolt Part 3. Unfortunately, right now, or it depends, fortunately, it's on the Switch. It's on the Switch exclusively, but we'll see what happens in the long run. Dragon Quest finally going to the Xbox. So finally, Japanese game. I kind of noticed that lack of Japanese game on the Xbox. There are some for the Xbox One. I know 360 they had some. Blue Dragon, Odyssey. What else? There've been a lot. Can't think of it on top of my head. Final Fantasy 13, remember that. But the Xbox One, it's sort of kind of like sporadic. But Dragon Quest 11 Special Edition, the one that was originally a Switch exclusive, finally it's on the Xbox. Of course, it's on Steam, Windows, PS4. It's a demo that can transfer to the main game. Awesome. Unfortunately, if you have the original one, you gotta start all over. Kind of like Persona 5 The Royal. You get some sort of bonus, but you gotta start over from scratch. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. SNK, finally, King Fighter 15. I saw the roster. Yes, it is hashtag shatter all expectation. Most of it, the return of the Orochi team. A lot of teams are a bit modified. The hero team's been modified. Return and officially the Sacred Treasure team. The only thing I'm still bummed out that did not shatter my expectation is the Fatal Fury team. Auto Fighting team, to some extent, yeah. I mean, it was changed for a while in 11, but if you're talking about that skew style, it was on 2000 with King, surprisingly. But again, speaking of King of Fighter, finally on the PS4, the King of Fighter 2002 Unlimited Match. I don't know it's the Steam version or it's the PS2 version or it's a hybrid, because there is a PS2 version a long time ago. Unfortunately, Playmore, they were kind of dicks. They're giving Sony of America a hard time because of the price issue, because of the anti-2D policy rule. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is there. But of course, SNK Entertainment's a different story. So I just want to insert this. A lot of people said it's kind of interesting because in Nintendo Switch, there's SNK versus Capcom Mark of the Millennium. And people said, how is that even possible? And somebody from SNK said, we worked with Capcom. And most people said, hey, wait a minute, isn't it that they hate each other? To be precise, I could be wrong. I heard this from people. Capcom hated SNK Playmore, who was running by the creator of SNK, the founder. The new SNK Entertainment, remember it's a different team, it's a Chinese conglomerate now, owned by a Saudi Arabia prince. Different story there. It's a different company. SNK Playmore, suck. SNK Entertainment, good. So Capcom and SNK Entertainment are in good terms. Playmore, no siree Bob there. So again, my thoughts, awesome. A lot of things awesome. Heck, even Evo is back, which surprisingly thanks to Sony. They bought the rights of Evo. They even made a partnership with Discord. But still, the sad part really is that also is the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. Even so, there have been already reports, you can get it as soon as possible. Well, I'm not really ready yet. Eventually, for me, when the time comes, like they showed State of Play, Ratchet & Clank, and it's good, but again, I'm not paying $70 for that shit. I ain't paying no $70 game. Again, different story there. However, we'll just put the win and see that one. So there's a lot of things I can talk about, even in the anime. Gotta give props to Sony 2021. Stay in home program. They did that before, and once again, they're doing it again, and it got better. Then if you're a new member for Funimation, guess what? Sign up, take their offer. I mean, just have to have a PS4 granted. You can get 3 months free after the 2 weeks trial, and I did it. Awesome. So I gotta give props to Sony again. Thank you, even so you got your stupid censorship policy. However, there is something interesting. I'll talk about it a bit later there. But because I'm talking about Funimation is, first I've been watching One Piece, My Hero Academia, Dr. Stone, and Black Clover. Awesome anime there. But one anime during 2020 people keep bitching and moaning because, this character should not exist, and that is Uzaki-Chan, a friendly girl in college, just have big boobs. Yes, just because she has big boobs, she's supposed to be toxic to the community. And I mean, like, I'm listening to Yellow Flash, to Vera Dark, to Hero Hey. I'm with them. It's like, people, seriously, it's fictional. Grow up, crying out loud. Some people, oh, fictional character hurts society. No, it does not. It only hurts your brain trying to think about it. So don't think too much about it. Seriously. Oh man. So, oh, speaking of that one, we're done with Funimation. Game of the Year 2020, The Last of Us 2. Is it deserve a Game of the Year award? You know what? It is what it is. You think about it. Is the game bad? Of course not. Is it controversial? Well, you decide. For me personally, I think it is. Game is good. Visual is good. Gameplay, a little bit question from what I understand. Controversial political story, yes. Because the thing is that there have been a lot of talks, and like I said about Neil Druckmann, he is political, he is a feminist, his hero is Anita Sarkeesian, and from what I understand, the Abby character is Neil Druckmann's personal creation. That's his creation, his personal one. Abby that looks like a bro, voiced by Laura Bailey. And I'm gonna say that it's unfortunate people attack her, not cool. You got a problem with the character, you got a problem with the game. Take it with Neil Druckmann, because he's the guy that created Abby. It wasn't Laura Bailey. She's just doing her voice. And if you don't know who Laura Bailey is, she's a good voice actress. Anime video game. And give some example. She's a soldier in Gears of War 4. She's Chun-Li. She's Lucina. Who else I can think of? Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. But she does a lot of anime. Why don't you do Wikipedia? And you'll see. So Laura Bailey, you know, I feel for you. People getting attacked. I think it's disgusting, but I just don't agree with Abby, but again, it's a job. You gotta do what you gotta do. But hey, you're awesome with Chun-Li, Lucina. Enough said. Just saying there. So, I mean, those are the things that kinda, for me, I remember about 2020, a year later. Those are the things. Thoughts about it? Yeah, it's good and bad. It is unfortunate sometimes, but maybe this pandemic making people kinda go, need to be, yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? Challenging. Let's just go with that. I'm trying to be nice here, but it is what it is there. So, of course, I want to close this year later. Idea Factory's announcement. So, of course, they also, the 10th anniversary celebration, they did Neptunia Reverse, which is unfortunately is just Rebirth 1 with more stuff. It's also going to come in the West, but it is unfortunate it's not a new game. But they did have a new game after Neptunia Virtual Star, and that is Nin Seren Kagura Cross Neptune. Yes, I'm going to talk about it in a different video. Neptune crossover with Seren Kagura character. It is by Tamsoft, so another ninja game. Looks good. I'll give my thoughts about it again in a different video, but freaking awesome when it looked like it. Hopefully that's English dub. So before I close this, I did mention about Sony's interesting. So of course, you've been following Sony 2018, 2019, to some extent 2020, but not so much 2021, but I could be wrong. They created this stupid policy called the censorship policy because Atsushi Morita technically said the reason why they were doing the double global standard, which no such thing, he made us shut up. Some people said, oh, it's for the children. Again, you can just kiss my ass. No, it's not. You're trying to make yourself look good. The reason they implemented for whatever reason, because again, like I said about Uzaki-Chan, is for a while there have been a lot of toxicity on Twitter. People hate it. Oh, anime should not have big boobs. Oh, superheroes should not be super sexy. Should be fat. Should be normalized. Should be like reality. Again, the reason it's fiction, it's fantasy, is to get off reality. Because, like I said, if you have a shady day in the job, you want to go to your fantasy. Just saying. But no, but people said just because you want to tap, you want to play with yourself, or, you know, ding between your legs, you get the idea. It's so stupid, but it is what it is, and it's still ongoing 2021, but finally people are fighting back, so that's awesome. But again, different story there. And like I said, 2021, there was something interesting that happened, and I saw this. So there are games that I'm sort of is I saw this on PlayStation 4 on their store is Sakura Succubus for the PS4. For people who don't know what that is, it's developed by WingCloud. Granted, they're an American company. However, they do visual novel and they hire two famous Japanese anime illustrators. Yeah, so the game looks anime, so you might think it's from Japan, but WingCloud are from America. I know it's weird, but if you follow what WingCloud does with the Sakura game, and lately on Steam, yes, they are fan service that is gonna make your PT hard. However, some of this game, if you go to their website, they offer you for Steam a patch that can even go beyond Ultra, if you know what I mean. But that's in the PC. You can't do that in the console no matter what. You can show nudity, but you cannot show beyond that. But still, Sakura Succubus is a very, very anime-oriented super fan service. So why is it on the PS4? I'm surprised. Are they going to remove it? I would certainly hope not, because it's on the Switch. It's also on the PS4. What does that mean? We don't know, but that is interesting. So yeah, so and the biggest one that's even worse. I think because Jim Ryan, I think ever since he was like the CEO, he sucked. I did talk about that. But the bottom line is, I think a lot of the changes he's trying to make it because one of the biggest controversy, closing the PS3, the PS Vita store, he did reverse that because he said people were, of course, outcry, including myself. They said they're just gonna find a way how to do it, to find resource. I'll talk about it in a different video there. But yeah, it's gonna doozy wild. I had a feeling maybe I'm just being optimistic. Hopefully 2021 to 2022, Sony will turn it around. They're gonna have more Japanese games because for a while it is looking like play US Station 5 because they're trying to Americanize it. The cross and the circle button changed in Japan because of global standard bullshit. But we'll see what happens in the long run. Hopefully things are changing. They're going 180 because they say, oh, it's not working. And again, why the console censorship policy trying to protect their reputation so that they don't get sued by idiots. Anyway, I talked about it too long. I can talk about more, but this is just way too long. So those are my thoughts on what happened a year later from summer of 2020 to going to be E3 of 2021. Yeah, I know what's long, but it is a doozy one. So there you go, my thoughts. I think it is an ups and downs. We'll see what happened at E3 2021. So with that, I'll see you guys later.